What's up, witches? So in this video, I am going to talk about incense. Now, witches have been using incense for thousands of years. Christians use incense, voodooists use incense. I mean, the use of incense in witchcraft has been around since like the dawn of human consciousness. People have always used incense and smoke to conjure up magic. Now, there's different theories about how it works, and you know, but in this video, I'm going to give you my recommendations for the best incense to buy. I will talk about sort of how the magic is working when you do burn incense, sort of like what is really happening, and also I will talk about how to make the most out of your incense and how to achieve the most powerful magic with the incense you have. All right, so let's get started. So first, I'm going to talk about my recommendations for incense. And my two favorite brands are Wild Berry and Satya. So I have some examples right here. This is Wild Berry. I got a pack of this scent is Ocean Wind, and oh, I wish you could smell this, but I think it was around $20 for 100 of the sticks. So I love Wild Berry. I think it's an incredible brand, and the thing I like about I'm very picky about incense because sometimes you buy it and it smells really good, but when you actually burn it, it just kind of smells like burning wood. But I like brands that are very fragrant when they actually are burning and smell good when they're burning too. So Ocean Wind, this is one example from Wild Berry. I also got a similar pack. I got 100 Dragon's Blood incense. Oh, it smells so incredible. These have a great burn time, they burn for a really long time, and they just smell incredible when they're burning. So Wild Berry is a great, great brand. Cannot recommend it enough. And like I said, my other favorite brand is Satya. Spelled, how do you spell it? Satya. Satya. These are made in India. And this is probably the most popular scent. This is Nag Champa. If you get Nag Champa, really get it from this brand because they make it the best. But I also have Nag Champa in the cone form. So you can also buy incense in the form of little cones and you burn them that way. But I do love the cones, and I do have a burner for cone incense, but I kind of lean more towards the sticks. Now, Nag Champa is good for any ritual, but it smells, oh, it just smells so good, and it's just such a heartwarming scent. So Satya is a really, really good brand, and Satya makes all different scents, just like Wild Berry. Wild Berry must have like 100 different scents that they make, and Satya is the same way. So they have Nag Champa, they have one called Pyramids. This one is just called Chakra. And my closet is so full of Satya incense. You know, I have other incense that's like Dragon's Blood incense. I have some that is Tantra, Good Vibes. You know, they make all these different scents. And that brings me to the next part of this video, which is how to make the most out of your incense, your magical witchy incense. So when you're burning incense for some kind of magical purpose. There really are ways to go about it. Now, you want to make the most out of it. You want your incense to be as powerful as you can make it. So, for example, this incense is called Ocean Wind. So you might want to pair this if you're doing some kind of sea magic or ocean magic or healing spell, something that draws on the powers and forces of water. You might want to use Ocean Wind. There's a certain kind of logic with that. But also smell the incense and think, what does this scent make me feel? What kind of fantasy is this stirring up in my spirit? Because that's one way you could also make incense work the most for you. When you're doing a spell, you're trying to connect on a deep level to some kind of greater magic. And so you might want to use, if you're doing a ritual for, protection, then you might want to choose a scent that really makes you think of protection and force fields and barriers and layers of protection. So, for me, for example, whenever I do protection magic, for the most part, I will burn dragon's blood incense. And so in terms of like stick incense, think something like this. This is the Satya chakra incense. So if you're doing some kind of ritual to balance your chakras, maybe burn this. That it wouldn't be such a bad idea to burn chakra incense. Now, I do want to talk about loose incense. So this is some, I don't know if you can see it in the camera. It's backwards, but it says angel incense. Now, this is my own recipe, and I created this, I bottled this incense just about a year ago. It was about 11 months ago I made this, and I haven't used it yet. And that brings me to a point, which is that if you're making loose incense like this, I would highly recommend that you get a label maker in glass bottles like this. Put the incense in the bottle and then put a label on it. And this has just been sitting on one of my shelves for about a year now. And so just imagine every moment of every day in the back, somewhere in my mind, I associate this incense with angels and high vibrational energies. So not only in and of itself, just innately, this has angelic properties, but there's also another kind of magic that's being added to this incense because there's a label on it, and my mind is constantly charging this with a certain kind of energy, which in my head is angels and love and good vibes, which makes it even more powerful. So if you want to get the absolute most out of your incense, then you want to also charge it with your intentions and your own kind of energy. Which that'll bring me to the next part of the video in a second, but so this is some angel incense. I love these little bottles. I also have some relaxation incense, and I also made some a protection blend as well. And also, this just is kind of a little trick in general, but when you are creating an incense or even a magical oil, plants will tell you a lot about themselves just by the way they show themselves. So, if you're invoking some kind of solar energy, like if you're trying to do a spell for a better harvest, if you grow food and you want a good harvest, then you might want to work with solar magic. And in that case, you might want to use dandelion root or dandelion flowers or daffodils or jasmine. And the way the plant looks, it'll tell you things about what that plant is there for. Because how else would we know you could experiment, I suppose, but, a plant will tell you the magic that it holds just by its appearance. So, mugwort um, is a great power building herb or plant because just you can tell by the way it looks, the way its flowers look, that it's about coming together and unifying with angels and stuff. It's about strength. It's the way the flowers look. You can tell it has this kind of energy of becoming a collective, and then everyone all at once putting their energy into the same thing. I don't know if that made any fucking sense what I just said, but anyway, I don't know if I can really. But anyway, you get my point. The way a plant looks will tell you a lot about the kind of magic and powers that it holds within. But your intentions is what sets the magic into motion. And that brings me to part 3 of this video, which is how incense creates magic. So, incense is very magical, and it really is changing the atmosphere. When you burn incense, you are releasing different energies. And what the incense is made of, as in the resins, the oils, the plant matter, that in itself is a certain kind of vibration, it's a certain energy, but it's also being mixed with your own desire because your will, your desire, your intentions are a type of tangible energy. Your intentions and your desire is truly something that takes up space. Your desire and your will is a tangible kind of energy. You might not be able to truly reach out and grab it, but it's there. It's a real thing. And so the incense is mixing with your own desires and your passions, and it's conjuring up magic from not only within you, but within the plants and the resins that the incense is made of, and it's also drawing in forces from other dimensions that are right on top of this one. So think about it as like when you're burning incense, there's a portal being opened that is allowing energies from other dimensions to pour into this universe. You know, this angel incense, I have a certain belief that when I burn this incense, I am truly releasing angelic energies unto the world, which is, you know, something I like to do. I feel like I'm doing my part to spread positivity in a way, but you know, you're releasing angelic forces onto the world. You're casting your magic into the air. It's in the air, and so then it can start to affect change throughout the world. And you know, but that's how it all works. You know, when you burn incense or when you cast a spell or say an incantation, you are releasing energy into the air, and now things are going to start falling into place. You know, this affects this and then that affects that. And it's all culminating into one outcome, which is the intention that you had for your spell. So when you're burning these blends or any kind of stick incense or cone incense, you are manipulating energy. Your heart is talking to the incense, and then the incense is talking to the universe and is sending out. You are releasing true magic. It really is truly magic what you're looking at. And you know, and also it's just one of those things where magic is magic, and so it's mysterious, it's spiritual, it's divine. So you're not always, oh, my nose is so itchy. You're not always going to be able to put things into words, and that has to be okay. That's the point of being a witch, is that we're okay with the fact that some things we cannot explain. But that's why the word magic is so useful, because magic in and of itself, that word means that it's shrouded in mystery. So, you know, as a witch, I just know that if I'm burning this incense, I know that I'm releasing energy. I know that I'm releasing my intention. I know that I'm releasing magic, truly spiritual energy. And there's no way I can really prove it. There's no way I can. And it's funny because I could talk until I'm blue in the face, but I can't really ever make someone realize what I know. That's what it means to be a witch. It means we know things that there's almost no way of truly knowing, but in some kind of way, we just know what we're talking about. So, you know, and anyway, so that is my video. Just remember, there are ways you can make your incense experience more powerful, you can connect more, and remember what I said about the brands. Those are two really great brands. And in the description box of this video, I'm going to leave some links to Amazon sellers that sell these incense. And because you can get some really good deals on these two brands on Amazon. Oh, also, hang on. Before I end this video, there is something I forgot to mention. So when you're making loose incense, which, you know, most witches make loose incense and then burn the blend on charcoal discs in a cauldron, which is what I do. I'm probably going to do that at some point today. Now, this is not an absolute rule, but it's something that I always do. So whenever I make a loose blend, I always add resin. Here we have some dragon's blood resin, which I love dragon's blood resin. I think it smells incredible. It burns for a super long time, but it's so expensive. Like, this is ridiculously expensive. I think it was like I don't know if you can see it, but there's like 2 chunks in there. And these 2 chunks of resin were probably like $20 or something crazy. But this is a more cost-friendly one. This is frankincense, which frankincense also smells great. It's long burning. They burn this in churches and places like that a lot. But I always add some kind of resin to my blends because it makes the incense burn longer. And also, I just think that resin is something that is so, like, jam-packed with magic. Anyway, all right, I love you guys. Stay witchy. And just remember that there's magic all around you. There's magic inside of you. And just remember that you're not a robot. You're not a robot. And, you know, we should never lose sight of the magic. We should never lose sight of the fact that we're truly spirits. And, you know, it's because we're raised in a way to try to figure everything out. And it does feel really good to just know in your heart that some things are just, you can't figure out. And it feels so good to know that I'm living in a place that is truly, I'm living in a place, a dimension, a reality that is truly mysterious and magical and spiritual, all right? And just remember that when you're burning incense, that miracles are happening right in front of you. You're just so used to seeing it that you probably just don't think much of it. But you truly are doing something divine, all right? Bye.